Hey YouTube, I'm back here with another quick unboxing and a comparison of some new controllers that I picked up. So what I ended up picking up is the new SEGA Saturn Pro controllers. These are wireless Pro controllers by RECHARGEABLE. These are pretty awesome. They have the dual analog sticks there in the middle, and I got them both in both colors. The white one, which is reminiscent of the Japanese controller that came out in the 90s, and then the black one that's reminiscent of the black one that came out here in the States. They didn't have these analog sticks when they came out back then. RECHARGEABLE decided to put these on there. So let's go ahead and get into unboxing these real quick. So on the side, just says SEGA Saturn, but it also has a notification, because this is common with these controllers, is to download the day one firmware patch for the controllers. So if you're ever having any issues with RECHARGEABLE's controllers, just go to their website. They have a pretty nice tool, so super simple, where you just download it to your PC. You'll plug this controller in and it'll automatically recognize any of their controllers and show you what firmware update is available for that particular controller. Inside of this box, you get the version 2 port of the USB receiver, which is good because they came out with the version 1 didn't work with a lot of controllers that you bought separate. So RECHARGEABLE came out with the version 2. So that's awesome right there. And then you have the USB-C charge cables in the inside right there. On the back, it just tells you about the controllers and the buttons and setup on the controller itself. So let's go ahead and pop this out. There we go. Nice little picture of the controller right there. Been really looking forward to this. And then the back here says SEGA Saturn RECHARGEABLE. Awesome. That to the side. And then you got your instructions right there. Who needs those? Chuck those to the side. And then you see your controller right there. And you have your dongles. This one here is for your actual Saturn. So if you want to use it with your Saturn, you have that one right there. And then this one here is for your PC or your Switch. I'm actually going to be using this one with the Polymega. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then let's put this back in here. Should be some cables below. There is some cables below. So I am starting to believe that this controller was not new. I bought it from Amazon, and to me, these always come binded up. They just don't come thrown in a cable. And then I noticed something on the top of the box here. It's like a little stain right there. So I do have an issue with that. I'm gonna have to let Amazon know about that. Because I bought them new, and usually, yeah, there's fingerprints on here too. Usually there are little plastic covering this here. So hopefully everything is going to go fine with this controller. I'll test it out and see how good it is. But that is the front right there. You got your D-pad, the classic Sega D-pad. You got all 6 of your buttons there. You got your A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. Your analogs down here at the bottom. Your start and select, and then your home and select, excuse me, and then your start button there in the middle. And then at the top you have your ZR, LR, L, and R. And then you have Type C, USB there. Then you have your indicator of how much, if it's charged, and then if it's controller 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on if it's hooked up like that. All right, so let's put that to the side. Let's check into this black one and see how that looks. Yeah, so that one was actually used. So I'm a little salty about that. Let's go ahead and get this one open. And up here, you can see there should have been tabs there. So we'll go ahead and cut that tab. It's one thing with Amazon. Sometimes, man, you never know what you're gonna get with them. Sometimes it'll say new and then it won't be new. So let's go ahead and slide this out. But yeah, kind of, as soon as I opened it up, I seen that on the top and said, that's weird. And let's see this one here. Black one. Yep, So that one didn't have the thank you for your purchase in there. This was not inside of that box for this white one here. And then there's instructions again. And just like I thought before, when you get a new controller, it has the plastic like this on it, and that one did not. So I'm really hoping that that works, but I will test it out. But let's go ahead and peel that off. Good old Amazon for you. So same thing as the other. Really nice SEGA Saturn D-pad, analog sticks here at the bottom. Everything is the same as previously spoke. Let's go ahead and look at this cable down here. And yep, just like I thought. Cable comes in a baggie. It is bound up right there. So that controller is definitely used. And I will be reaching out to Amazon if it doesn't work. I'm gonna reach out to them anyways, because I paid a new price. I shouldn't be getting used product for a new price. All right, so now that we got these out, let's do a quick comparison. So RetroBrit brought out a controller, the SEGA Saturn controller, a couple years back, which was really good. I have been playing with that one with my SEGA Saturn for a while now. This is the version 1 right here. And this is really nice. I really like this controller. It doesn't have dual triggers at the top, and it's micro USB instead of Type C. And as you see, it just has the 6 face buttons. But that is this one here is bigger than that one, but that is the comparison of both of them right there. Main difference is you have those analog sticks right there, and then you have the extra ZR and LR buttons on the top right there. So that's the difference. These are still available, but I would probably get this one over this one. These here are $50. These here, I'm not entirely sure. They're probably like $30 now, but I will put the price of it in the description section if you guys are interested in the older one. But this one is $50, and like I said, I got it from Amazon. I know that's not a glowing review on Amazon when you get one that's opened up and it's already used, so, but they did come from Amazon. And then also, we're gonna go ahead and compare them real quick to the originals that we played with back in the day. All right, so I have those here. So this is the second edition that came out. So as you see, it looks like the first RetroBit version that they did. And then here you go. That's how they look there. And they feel, the only difference is on the originals, you have this soft texture on the D-pad right there. And on this D-pad, there's no soft texture. It's all plastic. But they feel good. Buttons are just as responsive, if not more. So that's pretty dope. Let's put that to the side. And then we have that one. This is the Japanese version here. Like I said, the only difference is with that D-pad is on the original, you have a soft texture on the D-pad itself. So that's the size comparison of those. Not too much bigger than the original. And then lastly, the one that no one really likes when it comes to the SEGA Saturn is the very first edition. Everybody cried about this one. They hated this one. I didn't really have any issues with it. Once I learned how to use the R triggers up here, R and L, I had no issues. A lot of people try to hit the front here, and the front you wouldn't respond. So you see this little groove here? This is where you need it to hit. And if you hit there, you got great response to those buttons, but some people play like this and they didn't go further enough back, which caused the buttons not to respond. You had to put your fingers back a little bit further, and then you got excellent response on those triggers. But this one here, you had all 6 of your buttons also. Now the D-pad isn't as good as the original's D-pad. So the D-pad on this one was a lot better than the D-pad on this one. So I can tell you, in that aspect, go with this one for sure. But me personally, I didn't have as many problems with this controller as others. It did feel comfortable in my hands, but it's notoriously hated in the SEGA Saturn community. Everybody hated this controller and felt like we got ripped off because this came to the US and this one was in this model was in Japan. Kind of like the same thing Xbox did. They gave us in the US that Duke controller, the huge controller, and then the S-Type came to Japan, and then we end up getting it here in the States because it was the more superior controller. So that is a comparison of those there. So these two are the SEGA Saturn Pro controller by RECHARGEABLE. I definitely recommend picking them up. I haven't used them yet. I plan on using them with the Polymega. I'll, update you guys if I have any issues with that on the Polymega. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and hook them up right now, and I'll come back with the jump cut and let you know how they work. All right, guys, I'm back over here on the Polymega. So here is the dongle for the controller. All you have to do is plug it into the USB port on the front of the Polymega right here. So let's go ahead and plug that in. You'll see the red light come on right there. Then on your controller, all you have to do is hit the start button. You'll see up here. There you go, it's synced up. So we're good to go. And then now over on the Polymega, let's go ahead and get a view of the screen here for the Polymega. You'll see on the screen here, excuse me, get this camera right. There we go. So all I had to do is hit the right key, hold the right key, and then it will automatically sync. So the controller does work. And then as you can see, it moves no problem right there. And then the analog sticks actually work too. So I'm going to be using that for the Saturn games. For the Japanese games, I have the X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Twinkle Star Sprites. And then for the American games, I have Mortal Kombat 2 on there as of right now. All right, guys, if you can go ahead and hit that like button, it would really appreciate that. It would help the video and push it out to more people so they can make the decision on if they want to buy this controller or not. And then if you are not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe key. I would really appreciate that. It will notify you when I do more content like this so you can come over and watch it. All right, guys, I'll check you on the next video. Peace.